Right now at noon, we're learning more about what caused fires at two separate sushi restaurants in Madison earlier this year. And the Ducks are becoming the Kurds. We'll tell you why the Madison Mallards are changing their name.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Thursday afternoon. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast. What a refreshing morning.
Oh, such an improvement compared to yesterday, and especially given where we will be next week. Let's try and enjoy this nice weather while we can. Welcome back to the Edgewater Skycam, and a beautiful view showing up in Madison at this noontime hour. Currently at 78 degrees, north-northeast wind at 12 miles per hour. It does feel a little bit more like 79, so make sure that you keep that in mind as you head outside. A little bit of sarcasm there. Temperatures across the board are basically in the upper 70s and some low 80s showing up closer to southwestern Wisconsin, but dew points very refreshing. On the better side of 60 degrees, so 59 in Madison, 62 in Monroe. That's still pretty easy to get through compared to where we have been. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours reaching highs near 80 degrees, and will fall through the 70s and 60s tonight. We'll talk more about the heat and humidity coming back into next week and how long the 90s will last in your first alert forecast.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Dave. Mandatory evacuations are underway, and a hurricane watch is in effect right now for parts of the Louisiana coast as a tropical storm picks up steam in the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical storm Barry has formed in the Gulf, and forecasters say it could become a hurricane as it threatens Louisiana's coast. The National Hurricane Center says the storm's maximum sustained winds right now are around 40 miles an hour, with additional strengthening expected during the next day or two. Three 14-year-old boys are accused of stealing a car and leading officers from multiple departments on a chase. A Fitchburg police officer spotted a stolen vehicle early this morning in the Verona Road, Frontage Road, and Atticus Way. The officer tried to pull the vehicle over, but the driver sped away. A town of Madison officer then noticed the vehicle and was able to use a tire deflation device. The vehicle eventually came to a stop under the Beltline on Park Street. A Dane County Sheriff's Office K-9 helped locate a passenger. Police eventually arrested the driver and another passenger. All three were taken to the Juvenile Reception Center. Two teenagers are arrested and a third is still on the loose after another stolen vehicle pursuit near downtown. UW police said an officer saw a stolen vehicle on Regent Street Tuesday night. The officer tried to stop the vehicle, but it took off, crashing a short time later near Chadburn Avenue. The three suspects ran away. Police say a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, both from Madison, were arrested, and they're looking for the third suspect. Three UWPD officers suffered minor injuries during the foot chase. Madison firefighters believe the technique used to make the tempura-like crunch likely caused separate fires at two sushi restaurants in Madison. Investigators say the oil used to make the crunch self-heats and spontaneously combusts, which leads to a fire. Firefighters responded to a fire at Sumo Steakhouse on April 5th and at the Takara Japanese restaurant on May 10th. The fire caused a combined $575,000 in damages to the two restaurants. During their investigation, Madison firefighters identified 5 other restaurants, 3 in Wisconsin, that also sustained fire damage due to this same food preparation technique. Democratic presidential candidates Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Beto O'Rourke, and Julia Castro are participating in a town hall in Milwaukee tonight. Each candidate will be on stage for 20 minutes. Immigration expected to be a prominent topic. The candidate's appearance early in the campaign cycle highlights Wisconsin as a key toss-up state the Democrats want to reclaim. President Trump's victory in Wisconsin in 2016 marked the first time since 1984 that Republicans won the state in a presidential election. The Trump administration is focused on immigration, with raids on undocumented immigrants planned for this weekend and an executive action to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Immigration and customs officers are planning raids across the country to detain undocumented immigrants.
Well, we're not going to say when operational elements are going to roll out.
The New York Times reports the raids will begin Sunday in at least 10 major cities and take place over a couple of days. ICE agents are targeting at least 2,000 immigrants who have been ordered deported but remain in the country illegally.
There's approximately 1 million people in this country with removal orders.
The Times reports officials will also carry out collateral deportations, detaining immigrants on the scene even if they are not targets of the raid.
Collateral means kids being left. It means moms, dads, families being torn apart. It is absolutely disgusting.
President Trump also plans to announce an executive action this afternoon to get a citizenship question on the 2020 census. The Supreme Court blocked it 2 weeks ago, calling the rationale for the question contrived, and said the government could not move forward without a solid justification. Critics say the question will result in an undercount of immigrants.
All of our communities need to be counted. All of our immigrant communities deserve to be counted and are ready to be counted. And we need for this Department of Commerce and the Trump administration to just drop the case and move forward with the census.
The Trump administration is expected to work to get the issue back before the Supreme Court as soon as possible. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And House Democrats are also trying to investigate the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy, which mandated everyone caught crossing the border illegally should be prosecuted, which led to family separations at the border. The House Judiciary Committee issued subpoenas this morning, ordering current and past administration officials to come and testify about the policy. Well, in more local news, for 3 games this month, our local baseball team is changing its name. The Wisconsin Cheese Curds will take to the field at the Duck Pond for the first time ever tonight. Every Thursday in July, fans can come out to the Duck Pond and watch the Curds play ball. Players will be wearing new jerseys featuring a Cheese Curds logo and checkered sleeves. New merchandise will be available to fans, and you can bet there'll be cheese curds to snack on. Each game, the team chef will whip up 3 new options.
The biggest thing was we just wanted to try something new and different and continue to kind of push the envelope and have fun when we're out here.
Tonight's curd specials include a special take on the Philly cheesesteak and a Mediterranean-inspired wrap full of curds, of course. Head to our website, channel3000.com, for tickets to tonight's Mallards game, or I should say Curds game. First pitch tonight at 6:35. And Wisconsin athletes won big last night at the 2019 ESPY Awards. Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo, there we go, won Best Male Athlete as well as Best NBA Player at the awards. The 2018 NL MVP, Christian Yelich, picked up the win for the Best NLB Player category. Other winners at last night's ceremony included the United States women's national soccer team, who won Team of the Year, and Zion Williamson won the Best College Athlete. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Fish so tasty, it's worthy of toasting with a big frosty glass of lemonade. It'll all make sense if you stay where you are. We'll be right back.
Experience handcrafted
You ready to have some fun? I sure hope so, because today we're combining our love for homemade pucker-up lemonade with fresh salmon. I know you're thinking, that sounds odd, but once you see how this comes together, you'll be hooked. The first thing we're gonna do is make a creamy lemon sauce by combining some mayonnaise with a bit of frozen lemonade concentrate that we thawed, along with a bit of black pepper. We'll set that aside for a sec, while in a large skillet, we heat the rest of the lemonade concentrate with some water. Once it's boiling, we lower the heat and add our salmon fillets. You want to cook this until the fish flakes easily, which takes about 8 minutes. When it's done, it's ready to serve hot or cold with our homemade lemonade sauce. With only a handful of ingredients and it being done in less than 10 minutes, I can't think of a better summertime meal. To get the recipe for our lemonade poached salmon, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a surprisingly refreshing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, the humidity is back in the forecast this weekend. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield will let us know how long it's going to last ahead. Stay with us. President Trump's social media summit begins, but big tech is not invited. And yes, it is possible to love your job too much. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
President Trump hosts a social media summit at the White House today. Mr. Trump tweeted this morning that a big subject on the agenda would be what he calls, quote, dishonesty and bias in the media. Key players in the digital world, including Facebook, Twitter, and Google, say they have not been invited. Those representing conservative groups, including the Heritage Foundation, Turning Point USA, and Your Voice Network, are reportedly on the guest list. The cost of living in the U.S. edged slightly higher in June. According to the Labor Department, consumer prices inched up 0.1%. Cheaper gas prices were muted by rising rents and higher auto costs. Amazon is making an effort to retrain a third of its workforce. The company says it will spend $700 million to help boost a skill set of 100,000 workers by 2025. The training will be voluntary. The programs are intended to help employees move up the ranks or find new careers. And no rest for the weary. According to a new survey by LinkedIn, more than half of employees say they check in with their coworkers or bosses at least once a day while on vacation. About a fourth of people polled say they actively work more than 3 times a day on vacation. Millennials have the hardest time pressing pause on work while taking time off. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thanks, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial's up almost 200 points to 27,058. The NASDAQ Composite up 18.5. The S&P 500 up 7. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yackey is out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dave's in the First Alert Weather Center. Looking good out there.
It is fantastic outside, but temperatures in the upper 70s at the noon hour. Highs near 80 today. Lower humidity, especially compared to what we've been used to over the past week or so, and compared to what we will get next week in full for basically the entire time. So on visible cloud track, we're noticing a clearing trend. So just a few clouds out and about, nothing to concern ourselves with across southern Wisconsin. We are watching the skies, though, and watching the satellites across the Gulf of Mexico because we have seen Tropical Storm Barry form this morning. You could see it kind of there and the associated rain and thunderstorm activity with that. You could also see a little bit of spin counterclockwise, that is, start to show up in the Gulf as well. So we're watching that closely in southern Wisconsin, not for the near term, but as we get into the middle of next week, we actually could see some thunderstorms from the associated moisture of what once was, at that time, Barry. So we'll keep that in mind. Alert days in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, as well as basically all of next week. But Wednesday and Thursday we're highlighting in a separate category because we could see a chance of thunderstorms. If we do get those thunderstorms to develop, then maybe that will let us have some relief from the heat, but not by much. I think that humidity is really going to stick around no matter what. In Platteville, on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam, a few more cumulus clouds showing up in this part of Grant County. In Dane County for Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam, just a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds. Wave to them. They're a little bit lonely out there. So if you are outside for the lunch hour, temperatures are in the upper 70s in Madison, near 80 in Janesville, 77 in Watertown, and 79 in Mineral Point. A few 80s showing up closer to Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. Dew points. This is the map that we want to keep around as long as possible because in the upper 50s and lower 60s, that is a lot more comfortable than we've been used to. In fact, about 6 to 10 degrees cooler, at least for our dew points, so less humid, we'll call it, than this time yesterday. So on our dew point comfort meter, it's noticeable outside, but really not bad. We're getting into the oppressive and possibly even miserable categories as we get into next week. So temperatures will slowly climb through the 80s over the next couple of days. As we head into next week, though, lots of low 90s showing up, and we could see those low 90s stick around for quite some time. On Future Track, though, we'll keep the nice weather around for the rest of this afternoon. A great day to get outside. Into this evening, we should be nice as well, dipping into the upper 50s by the time we start Friday morning. Then highs a little bit warmer as we get into Friday, and I can't rule out a quick shower or storm late on Friday into early Saturday morning. So really that shouldn't affect too many plans, but don't be surprised if we do see a few rain showers as we head into Saturday morning. And then temperatures will be in the upper 80s for Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a look at that 7 to 10 day forecast. Alert days galore as we head into next week for the heat and humidity. It could feel like the triple digits at times, especially during the afternoon for next week. We'll hope that we can get some thunderstorms to at least get our temperatures out of the 90s. If not, though, if that moisture stays a little bit farther south, which a couple of forecast models have at this point, then those temperatures could actually be a few degrees warmer than what we have in the forecast. So we're definitely crossing our fingers that we can get some relief from the heat as we get into next week.
Quite a string of 90s.
Oh, yes.
All right, well, be prepared. Thank you, Dave. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week. She'll introduce us to cilantro when we come back. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week. Welcome to you.
Hello.
This is cilantro. Great name. He's shedding a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, we got to turn.
There we
go.
go.
Cilantro.
Yes. So this is handsome little cilantro, and he is some sort of dwarf rabbit mix. We don't know for sure because little cilantro here was actually found stray in Stoughton.
Really? So he's somebody's pet, and got out or was let go, or?
Yep, and when we found him, he was in pretty rough shape. He was very, very skinny, had a lot of hair loss, but as you can see now, he is healthy, happy, and ready to find a new home.
And not afraid of people.
No, he is one of the friendliest bunnies I've ever met. You open up that cage and he jumps right up. He loves the snuggles too.
Little ears.
I know, that comes with that little dwarf mix.
So, get along with other rabbits, or we don't know?
Yeah, I think he would, as long as you're having some bunny dates and making sure that they all get along. I think he would do well with another little buddy. And we don't have an exact age on him, again, because he was found stray, but it's a good thing to remember that bunnies can live anywhere between 8 to 10 years, even up to 12 years. So you're going to have a friend for a long time.
So it's a commitment.
It is, it really is.
He seems young, but who knows?
Yeah, but he definitely has a young spirit. He does love to run around and play.
And you've got some rabbits that have been around for a while at the shelter.
We do. We currently have 14 rabbits available for adoption, actually four of which are part of our Lonely Hearts Club. So Cilantro here, and we have Emilio, Ian, and Isaac. They've all been with us over 30 days.
Isaac is quite striking looking.
Yes, I mean, all very handsome bunnies looking for great homes. And I know Emilio and Cilantro here are actually at the Mounds Pet Food Warehouse location in Fitchburg, so you can go visit them there.
Okay. All right. Last week?
Oh my gosh, last week we had our trio of senior rats. Was it Denny, Kenny, and Lenny? And they all did get adopted.
Well, and they had to go together.
Yep, they all went together and found a great home.
Oh, that's right. 2 were sleeping in the,
yep.
in the bin. So the Rat Pack.
The Rat Pack.
Found a home. All right, if you're interested in Cilantro or all the other senior rabbits or any critters available, go to giveshelter.org or set up an appointment at 838-0413. Marissa, thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time. And Dave has one final check of the forecast.
Temperatures are in the upper 70s this early afternoon. Plenty of sunshine across southern Wisconsin. Just a fantastic afternoon to get outside. We do see some 80s a little bit closer to southwestern Wisconsin, but I think highs will top off right around 80 degrees later on this afternoon. Mostly sunny and warm. Don't get used to these nice conditions, though, because that heat and humidity returns next week.
All right. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.